Hi, in this video we're going to look at audio options in Adobe Connect. So to start off, I'm going to go to my meeting room. And you'll remember that we set up a meeting room for commodity management in the last video. So I'm going to click in on that. And when you're setting up your audio settings for Adobe Connect, for any particular meeting room, that actually happens early on before you even launch the meeting in the Edit Information tab. And in here, when you're creating that meeting room, or if you're going back into it to change the audio settings, you'd want to go here and go towards the bottom. You'll see here that the last section is the audio conference settings section. And right now I've got it set up so that everything is over VoIP. And so that would make it so that people are forced to connect to the meeting, both their audio and their microphone, through their computer speakers and their computer microphone. Later in a follow-up video, I'll show you how to link this up with a conference line if you want to do that. But we're going to stick with these audio options for now, forcing everybody to use the computer mic. I'm going to go to my Meeting Information tab and click on my link. Now the nice thing about forcing people to use computer speakers is that if you're going to do breakouts or anything interactive in your meeting, you'll be able to successfully do that with people connected through their audio through their computer. If people are connected through the phone line, then you can't use all those fancy features of Adobe Connect like breakouts. It simply won't be able to process the audio very well. So if you're planning to use some of these features, you definitely want to make sure that that you're set up for VoIP audio. Now you notice at the top of the screen we've got a couple of icons. The first is a green icon, and you'll see that when I hover over that it says mute my speakers. Because it's green, that shows me that it's activated. And this is the icon that allows me to hear what's going on in the meeting room. So you'll be able to hear other people talking. If there's a video playing, you'll be able to hear sound from the video and things like that. If I wanted to mute the speakers temporarily, I could click on that and it would disable the audio temporarily. And then I would click on it again to reactivate it. Directly to the right of that is my microphone icon. So when I want to activate my microphone, I click on this icon, and you'll notice that it should turn green. I'm going to click allow here to kick it in. You'll notice that as I speak, there's activity within the icon showing me that the microphone is picking up my voice. But if you weren't to see any activity, what you'd have to do is click on this little drop-down menu and then go to select microphone and make sure that the correct microphone for your computer is selected here. Okay, so my microphone array is selected, that's the correct one, and Adobe Connect is able to pick up my voice. Now although I have a microphone icon here and I'm able to talk, regular participants, people who log into the meeting and don't have host status or presenter status, they don't have any microphone rights at this time. And I've set it up that way so that, you know, if you were doing a webinar and you didn't want people to have microphone access, you know, that's kind of the default. So if you want to activate people's microphone, you either have to make them a presenter, you know, if you just want presenters to have microphone access, or you need to go to the audio menu and you go to microphone rights for participants. So when I select that, it's immediately going to give participants access to their microphones. And you notice that when I go back to this menu, there's a little checkbox next to this option showing me that I've checked it off. Now, as soon as I check that off, that doesn't mean that participants can start speaking and you'll be able to hear them. They have to go through the same step that you went through of going to the top of the screen, finding the microphone icon and clicking on it. And if that doesn't work, maybe going down and selecting their microphone from the menu. So it's a good idea to walk participants through this at the beginning, explain to them that they're going to be looking for a green icon at the top and then an icon directly to the right of that and clicking on it to activate their mics. And we also have a video on the TOPS program YouTube channel that'll walk participants through how to activate their mics. So you could use either of those to help participants to get activated, but you're definitely going to have to set aside a little bit of time in a meeting for participants who've never done this before to walk them through how to do this. And one of the challenges that often come up when you have a meeting and you have several participants with microphone access is that sometimes people talk over each other or get interrupted. And so one of the options that you have is to make it so that only one person can have a microphone at a time. And to do that, you would select Enable Single Speaker Mode, and then that would get checked off. You notice that right now there's a little asterisk next to my icon here whenever I'm talking, and that shows me that I have the mic right now. So if I wanted to pass that mic to somebody else, I'd have to go up here and release the mic from the speaker and then pass it to another person. Okay, so that's simply how you would pass the mic around the meeting room. And this can be really useful, like I said, if you want to keep audio interruptions at a minimum and make it so that only one person can speak at a time. Another option here is your audio conference settings. Now I would recommend that if you're going to play around with the audio conference settings, you don't do it while your meeting is active. Even if you go in here and you try to change some things, if I were to change my audio profile, it's not going to take effect immediately. You'd have to close out the meeting room and probably wait a few minutes for it to actually kick in. So it's not a good use of your time. Don't use this. If you're going to change your audio settings, do that on the back end before you start your meeting. And that's it to audio part 1.